Welcome back, Renegades. Friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It greatly helps the channel grow. Here we got Bonney versus Yamato. Opponent chooses to go first. We're going to take a mulligan on this. A little bit better, not great. 2 Dawn here. We're going to play down our Rosinati blocker and just pass back. So Yamato has double attack, so we just going to try to counter here effectively. Unfortunately, I don't have... I'm going to take this one just because I don't want to use a 2K. And getting some more cards in hands, counter power. So Mihawk into Basil, which is good. We're at 4 Dawn here. We're going to deploy down another blocker. Basil. I don't want to deal with it, but I also need to get rid of it. So get rid of it early. Pass it over. 1 Dawn open so we could keep something rested. We're going to be at 6 Dawn next turn. Still don't really... This hand's not the greatest. We have the top end, but we just don't have anything to hold us off until we get there. Opponent's going to play down a Momonosuke. It's a searcher for the Wano. They're going to get the Momonosuke blocker. 3 on their leader. Use card action to rest the Mihawk. We are going to use a blocker here. Back over to us. We finally get something. We're going to get the carrot down. We're going to rest down their Mihawk. We're going to pressure into their searcher. They take this hit. We're just going to pass it back, leaving 1 Dawn open. Opponent's going to use Straw Sword to rest down our blocker. It's pretty good. 5 on leader. Definitely going for the big swing here. And we have to take that, unfortunately. Back over to us. We're 8 Dawn. We can play down the kid, but we don't have the Dawn for it. We have a blocker, but if they're going to rest it again, we're in trouble. I think Hody's the best play because it doesn't have counter, so it doesn't do anything good in hand. So we're going to go 6 into life, freezing down that Mihawk. We're going to go 8 into life. We're just going to go 5 here. Pass it back, leaving 1 Dawn open. So maybe. We'll see. It definitely doesn't look good. We have a lot of non-counter cards in hand. So we have 2, 4, like 6K worth of counter, but we do have this. So Momonosuke Searcher coming down, grabbing them in Aizu. That's what they needed right there. That's pretty good. They're going to be able to rest down our blocker. And then I'm going to put the rest of their Dawn on their leader. So let's see. 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 9K. 2, 4, 5. All right, well, we can survive here if this is their play. If they go Izo to rest down our blocker and then put the remaining Dawn on their leader. So we'll see what they're planning on doing here. All of your opponent's rested characters for the cost 7 or less do not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. That's pretty good. I think we're going to use our blocker here. So that way the Izo isn't really effective next turn. I mean, it is now. So we're going to play down our kid, put a Dawn on it. We're going to rest it to drop down a blocker. And we're just going to take out the Momonosuke Searcher here. Passing it back, we did pressure they have to pressure into the kid now. We do have a blocker, so even if they rest the blocker, the kid is absorbing the hit for the turn. You got a Hayori. Play Hayori, take a life. And I'm putting a life on top, which is probably a good trigger for them. I did see some lists of Yamato running Noah's Ark, which is kind of cool. Hayori from EBO1, bringing down Momonosuke, putting Hayori at the bottom of life. Flying down Otama Searcher. And when they got no cards, back over to us. So they know what this is. So I'm going to go 9K with the kid first. Because like I said, they know what this is, so I don't want to expose my Hody to whatever this card might be. So we'll see what the opponent chooses to do here. But I also want to make sure this blocker's out of the way. So depending on what the opponent does, if they take this life and shows us the trigger here, then I'll drop the Hody and rest down these cards. And then I'll have another 8K, another 8K. And we know their last card in life is a 2K counter, so we have to calculate for that. You take this hit. Let's see what that trigger is. The Onami. Getting our blocker out of the way. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play down ours and get their blocker out of the way. Then I'm going to go 8K into life. 8K into life. 8K into life, freezing their blocker. 5K into life. I'm assuming they have the counter. They do? Alright, good game. Good game, opponent. Not really much I can do. I'm assuming they're just going to sleeve, load up others and go. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8K worth of counter. We can only get out of a 12K hit. So depending on what they want to do. Oh, they have to go into the kid. Oh, actually, we might be alright. We might be alright. Because they have to pressure the kid. Unless they can remove it from the field right now. They have a blocker. Alright, they're going to gain a life from the Otama. We do have another Hody, though. We actually might be okay. Because now they only have 4 Dawn. So the 9K swing at max. Less than that. Alright, so now they definitely put a trigger here. And it's more likely the 0-drop event. They're just passing it back. We got it. Here we have Bonney versus Zoro and Sanji. They took a hit with the Jinbei, so it's interesting to see how they build this. We're going to go second. We'll keep. I haven't explored too much for this leader. It's been around, started deck 12. So we're going to play down a Searcher. We're going to find a... I don't know if we want the kid. We have other options here. We have this and this. I think I'm on a 2K. Has it back. Opponents at 3 down. They're going to play down Yosoku and Johnny from the starter deck at 12. Okay. And then they're going to go 5 into life. We're going to say no block here. We'll take the first one. So at 4 Dawn here, we're going to actually play down our Scratch Mana Poo so we can rest down their card. And we're going to see how bad they want to save it. We're going to go 7 into 4 with leader. Or 7 into 3 with the leader. We got that. Let's pass it back. I wonder if they're actually playing just the starter deck. They might be. Playing Zeph, on play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. When attacking, reveal the top card of your deck. You may play up to 1 cost 2 character card rested, then return the remaining cards top bottom of your deck. We're going to use card action. We're going to rest down the Zeph. We're going to choose a blocker. Counter. Back over to us. 6 Dawn. We're going to play down our Smoker. Going to use this effect to ready a Dawn. This is 5. So we're just going to go 6 into life here. And pass turn. So they might actually just be playing a stock starter deck list here. We'll have to see more of their cards from hand or starter deck 12. Okay. 4/6 Zoro. Dawn 1 when attacking. Rest of one of your opponent's cost 6 or lower characters. That's pretty good. Starter deck. Okay. Patty and Carney. We're going to go 5 here. And then they get the... Yeah, I actually think these guys are playing a legit just starter deck. They're not doing bad, right? Yeah, the attack effect is when attacking. Alright, draw Dawn. We're at 8 now. Maybe that would have been a good... Maybe the kid would have been good. Alright, so we need to definitely clear up some stuff here. So we're going to go, first of all, into this pudding, because it has an ability to put it back in its hand, and it is a 2K. Then we're going to 8 Dawn. What do we want to do? We don't really need to do anything. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go 7 into this Zeph with our Scratch Mana Poo. Then we're going to play down this Scratch Mana Poo so we can rest this. Then we're going to use Smoker's effect, and then we're just going to take out this guy as well. 8 into 4. Pass back. Another Zeph. See, I kind of wish this leader had the Straw Hat Crew / East Blue. So Ivankov, they can look at the top card, play 1 cost, assuming that's where that came from. And then when attacking, once per turn, if your hand has 6 cards or less, draw a card. And Duval, blocker. Alright, 6 going in. We are going to rest their Zeph. No block. 2K. 1 on leader. That's probably what we should have actually done. Who are they putting back in hand? To ready this Zoro. Okay. So we're going to say no block. We're going to give him another 2K. They didn't attack with him, which is kind of... So 10 Dawn now. I think here we're just going to drop down our Zoro. Going to use our Smoker effect. We are going to use our Bonney. Wow. That would have been nice coming up to chain off. Just grab another Bonney Searcher. We're going to pressure 5 into life with our leader. They do have a blocker. They take that hit. And now we're going to pressure the 7K Banish. More likely they're going to use their blocker here. They're just going to counter out. Yeah, this is just starter deck. Alright, that's not starter deck. Okay, they're pretty much playing the starter deck, and they just put the secret rare Zoro and Sanji, I'm assuming. We're going to use the effect to rest the leader, so we don't have to restand this thing again. We're going to say no block, and we're going to give them a 2K. This way, they can't use their leader. 4 into the rest of... Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty good. They get to draw a card if they have 6 or less cards. Alright, over to us. I think we're going to just start going with our Zoro. We're going to go 11K using our effect, assuming they're going to use their blocker. We're going to go 9 with Banish, or 10 with Banish. They use their blocker there. Yep, that makes sense. Then we're going to go another 11K with Zoro. They take this one, and I need, what, a 2, and then 1. Go 6 into the Ivankov. just want to make sure that as many was taken care of just in case. They still have a lot of cards, so 11 into 5 seems like a guaranteed hit, but they have a lot of cards. All right, we got it. Here we have the deck profile for OP07 Jewelry Bonney in the OP10 meta. So she is no stranger to tournament play. She's a 5 life, 5k green leader. When opponent attacks once per turn, you pay a Dawn. You can rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or character. This deck hasn't really changed a lot since 09, so I'm just going to quickly go over the cards that are in the deck, and then the new ones I'll spend a little bit more time on. So we have the 4 Cavendish from EV01 on play, then when attacking, ready to Dawn. We're running 4 copies of Scratch Mana Poo from EV01. Wrote 4 Killers from OP01. It's a blocker, then with Dom 1 on block. If you have 3 or more characters, you can draw a card. 3 copies of 8-Drop Kid, no stranger here. 4 copies of Razanati, just another way to kind of save the kid. Running 4 copies of Hody Jones, probably one of the best finishers in green right now. Has Rush on play, take a life, rest 2 characters, and we opted for 4 copies of the Zoro here from OP06 Secret Rare. It's essentially one of our finishers with 3 swings. When attacking, once per turn, you can pay 1 to ready it, and then you can pay 2 Dawn during your main phase once per turn to set it as active, so essentially 3 swings. Try to close out games. Running 4 copies of Carrot. I'm just going to go over the 4 Bonnies quick. The Searcher for the deck, Supernova Searcher. 2 copies of Scratch Mana Poo from Starter Deck 2, just a 2k. We're running 3 copies of Shanks from Starter Deck 16. Another top-end finish. 9-drop 11k has on play KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters, so it works really good with leader. We're running 3 copies of the 0-drop event. Whoever wins this war becomes Justice. Just a free 3k counter, because we are running a lot of cards without counter, so it's just a way for us to unbrick our hand. So new additions to the deck for OP10, we're running 3 copies of Smoker. This is a 5/7, no counter. It's not Supernova, so it's unsearchable in the deck, but it has Banish. So when this character deals damage, the target card is trashed without activating its triggers. And then activate main, set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. Then you cannot set your Dawn card as active through character effects for the rest of this turn. Now, this is extremely great because it's when you were at 8 Dawn, you couldn't really play this out. You wanted to be at 9 Dawn. So Smoker, if you have this on the field, when you drop Kid, you can ready the Dawn to give it to Kid. And it also actively feeds your leader the 1 extra Dawn it needs to use its effect. Great card. 3 copies, no counter. Another 2k for the deck, new addition. This is Tashigi from OP10. It's a 3-drop 4k power 2k counter. It has when one of your green characters other than Tashigi would be removed from play due to your opponent's effect, you may instead rest this character. Just another way for us to save our board from removal. And yep, we're just removed from play. So if they try to bottom deck it, put it back in your hand, or KO it by effect, you can rest this Tashigi. Really good addition to the deck. So one thing I noticed during gameplay, and in one of my videos coming up, I do explain this a little bit more, but with Smoker and Cavendish, you got to make sure you do Cavendish ability first to activate the 2 Dawn, because Smoker says set up to one of your Dawn cards is active, then you cannot set your Dawn cards as active through character effects for the rest of this turn. So if you use this first and you go to use Cavendish, you won't get the extra Dawn. So just a little interaction you need to be aware of. I realized it during the match after I tried to do this, and I was like, oh, the new addition of Smoker and Tashigi, and some of the numbers were adjusted. I don't think anything really new to the list. Like, we were always kind of running the blockers, the 2Ks, the top end. So yeah, it's just Smoker and Tashigi, new additions to the deck. Definitely works great. Just anytime your deck can get an extra set of 2Ks that pulls double duty, your deck is doing very well. Smoker, interaction with the leader, interaction with Kid, very good. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying Bonney and O10, and let me guys know what you guys think of this list. Anything you guys would change, anything you like, just let me know in the comments.